It's no secret that our town needs a lot of work before we can call it finished. I mean, a lot of work. There's so much that we need to do today. And we're going to do that in today's episode, everybody. We're going to get this town spick and span, polish everything, and make it look, well, like an actual town. So today is going to be the official last episode of working on the town of Terracotta. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. So I'd say the main thing, apart from interiors and everything, is adding the people, because right now nobody lives here, and we want it to be a busy, bustling city. I think we better do that last, because there are a few things we have to do before that, before we can add all the armor stands, because those are kind of the final things that we need to do, even though it's an important part. Now, as we have this upstairs level where all the residential area is, and it transitions into this kind of more tan-looking color, or light brown, I guess you would say, I don't really like it, so I think we're going to change that to be a little bit different. Because it looks a little bit dirty, if I'm being honest, and I know everybody's coming through here, walking through here, but there still should be some pavement and not literal dirt everywhere. So, we better fix that, and I think I'm going with this one over here. I laid out a little patch of it right here. Polished tough and tough bricks. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is get the streets looking nice and, well, walkable. Because right now it kind of just looks like a horse trail, which I guess horses could go through here, but not very easily. So all this mud better get out of the way, because I got some streets to build. Are these guys going to be fine here? I know they've been here a while, but we'll see what happens to them. I think there's a lot more stuff to do than I originally planned for. I had to make a checklist for all the stuff we need to do. But anyways, these streets are primed and ready for people to start walking on them. And oh boy, I think I do like this look better than the other one. It kind of, I don't know, it feels like it's raised higher up for some reason. I know it's not actually, it's the same Y level, but it's the same actually raised up level, but it just seems higher than when it was the tan colors before. I don't understand it, but I do like the new colors, especially because from above they kind of blend together. If we just go up here and look down, you can see we've got the one level. Here, let me do this. One level overhead is darker, while the other one is a little bit lighter, but still kind of the same gray tone values, I guess. So as you may or may not have already seen, we have some signs placed around the village here, the Terracotta Town, that tell us what to do, what to place here. So we have a few empty spots in both areas, actually, that I'd like to put a few things. So maybe some market stalls over there, and some more over here. Really just wherever we have a big open space where I feel like a lot of people will gather around. That's usually where you see market stalls, right? In the more bustling areas? Yeah. Oh, and then this one back here, stairs up to train tracks. I feel like the train tracks are going to go towards the nearest other landmass, which is that one over there, which I don't know, maybe we'll build over there eventually. So tracks are going to be going that way whenever we do them. And then I want to leave room for boats underneath too, because, well, eventually the main form of travel this city's going to have is boats. Right now we just have one, but there will be more eventually, trust me. So whatever bridge or train tracks we do build, we have to leave gaps for boats to be able to go through and underneath them. And then over here, we have some cargo docks, or we're going to make some a little bit, for cargo loading. So the boats come in here with all their cargo, like steamboats probably, maybe some barges. They come in here, unload the stuff, and then go back out for another shipment. But alongside with that, the main concern right now is this area right here. You may recall this picture that I've shown before of the town in Lucca, Porto Rosso I think it's called, or something like that. So that's the picture we're trying to base this specific area off of, and it, doesn't really look like that right now. We've still got a little bit of work to do, and by a little bit, I mean carve out all of this, back up the water level to probably about here, because in that picture there's a little bit of a drop-off to the ocean area. So I got my hands full with this terraforming here. I built this a while ago just to level it out a bit more, but now I'm realizing that it shouldn't be too leveled out and it should be just a drop off. So I think I'll go ahead and start doing that. Yep, this is gonna take a while. I think this has become my new favorite place to hang out in our world. It's just so nice of an atmosphere and everything. And we have a new addition over here. Let's, what is this? Let's go over here and see. Let's check it out. I think this officially is my new favorite hangout place. And ta-da! Look at this. We've got a cargo bay. Like, literally a bay, because it's, like, on the corner of an ocean full of, well, cargo stuff. And I love it. This place is so amazing. And Jack Black's on my Minecraft cape. I don't know why he's there, but he is. But anyways, so these are the cargo loading docks where all of the, well, cargo comes in from the lands beyond that we have not been to yet. And they get sorted and put away and distributed throughout the whole city, and which we're going to have to add the actual cargo later, but right now we just have the shipping containers that they arrived in. And I really love this kind of splotchy, just random placing of blocks everywhere. I think it really makes it look like a seaside area. Because I feel like oftentimes when you see like fishermen or whatever bring in their cargo and stuff, it's not usually that secure. I mean, maybe they might have like some ropes around it, but it's usually just placed down and left there. Yeah. So these docks are pretty similar to the ones over here. These ones, except these ones have a little bit more room for ships and walkways. The walkways are a little bit bigger, I think, because this is where the people go, and this is where the fish go. There's no fish, but this is where the fish are gonna go, and I've placed down some composters and everything, so we can have, eventually, some armor stand fishies filling up the fish barrels. So just imagine, which we're going to do in a second, adding all the people in here, and we have fishermen going through, maybe fishing on the docks over here. We have some ships eventually coming in and going through this tunnel, well, not a tunnel, but this bridge type thing. And what is this for? Well, as I told you before, did you make that? Guys, I'm explaining, you gotta be quiet. I said quiet. Shh. Villagers don't be quiet, do they? So as the sign that was here before said, and I gotta wax these. There are stairs up leading to the walkway for the train station. Now, I think I might change this eventually because, well, we kind of got rid of that view that I was talking about earlier, so I might make it like glass or something to see a little bit better, or maybe just even flatten out the slope a little bit. But before we go up there, we added some flowers over here. I think I like it. So now, when you have this view, which is also really cool from back here, you can see it adds a little more pop of color. I love saying that, pop of color. This whole city is a pop of color, isn't it? It's just very colorful. And these flowers are a wonderful addition, as well as these end rails right here, just to kind of cap it off, because without these birch planks here, or birch logs or whatever you want to call them, it just didn't look right for whatever reason to have the moss next to the moss of the building connected to the moss of the floor. So I just separated them off a little bit to give it a little bit more, well, separation. But now to the bridge itself. Eventually meaning not this episode, sadly, I wish I could, but later, we're going to have 2 trains going here. So as you go up this thing, you're going to start to eventually see the trains, that there's going to be one on each side. So one train track going this way, all the way that way, and it might go somewhere else, but it's probably just going to go like over there somewhere. And then same on the other side, when we eventually make trains. But I think the best part about this is the arches underneath, because we have these boat docks, and, well, this is a seaside village. Their main mode of transport in and out of the village, besides the train, which is for the more mass amount of people, is obviously boats. So we need to be able to have boats fit through this bridge, which I feel like they will be able to. Maybe not some of them like that one, but most normal-sized boats will definitely be able to fit through here. Maybe not flying boats either. So that's 2 of the 3 things I said I would do. I did the train bridge, the boat docks, which, by the way, I think is my favorite of these 3, and then the third one, which is over here, and it's probably the most important, even though it doesn't look the best. It is the entrance to the city from this side, and I tried to do my best to align it to the picture I showed you earlier, but it's Minecraft, it's a block game, so water doesn't really work as we wanted it to, and especially in this case. The sea level for Minecraft's water is Y63, and, well, our city is like 10 blocks above that, so there was no really easy way to have a slope of water going in without making it look a little bit like the waves were relapsing on the shore a lot, which they are, but I think I pulled it off a little bit. I might change it to glass or something, make it look a little better. But here we are. This used to just be grass and a little bit of stony stuff, but now it's all the same deep slate color. So we have a nice little courtyard here for when people, come in to this shore. They're not really supposed to. They're supposed to use either of the docks over there to park their ships. But maybe this could just be for stuff washing into shore. I don't know. And I don't know what this place is usually used for, but we do have stairs to go down if somebody does need to go down here. They go into the water, so don't get drowned or whatever, but we do have stairs. And I think this block palette turned out great as well. It kind of matches up with these 2 side buildings as well, which we're going to have to change this one a little bit, as you'll see in a moment. But another thing I like is this walkway over here. So, as we've seen before in previous episodes, we have this walkway that goes all the way around from one side of the well and back here with the view of the train station and the docks now, and it goes all the way to the front. So I've added this little tiny, whatever it's called, I don't know. This kind of square looking thing. So this area for me kind of invokes those places like whenever you're like vacationing and you see a scenic place, they usually have like pay to use binoculars, you know the ones I'm talking about. Yeah. So I might put some here because it feels like the right place for that, because, well, it's the vast ocean, maybe some whale watching or cod. I don't know, you might want to watch that fish. Look, he's so Never mind. He just poofed. So that's the 3 new things to round off, well, literally this side of the city. It's the oceanfront buildings, structures, whatever you want to call them. There's 3 main things over here, and they're actually all entrances to the city, strangely enough. Oh, getting dark. As I've said plenty times before, this city is completely devoid of life. Well, apart from our villagers who are doing our trading. Now in Minecraft, there are a couple ways to portray life, and those are... Number 1, the most basic, is particle effects. Minecraft has a lot of particle effects you can use to kind of portray movement and add them into your builds, but you have to be careful so they don't get too extreme. Like with these spore blossoms we have in our enchanting area over here, there's one right here. They give off a lot of spores, which sometimes can be too overwhelming. So you need to be careful with which one you pick. Let's see, if we land here, will they start? Yeah, you can see the spores starting to go off, and they just keep growing and growing until you're kind of surrounded in them. So that's not really what I want to do for this, at least for most of the shops. One of the residential area, I think, is going to be a florist shop, so maybe that one, but that's not the one we're going to use for all of them. Another way is to literally use life itself, well, Minecraft's version of it anyway, and have a mob or an animal inside of your building. But obviously these guys don't look like people, do they? I mean, if they wear a trench coat and stack on top of each other, maybe they could pull it off, but I don't think they're that smart. No offense, but you guys, your eyes are apart for a reason. They're not facing the same way. Now the third way, and the way we are going to do for our city, is to have an armor stand dressed up in armor, which, oh, that one kind of looks weird because it's not leather armor. But you get the gist of it. We have this armor stand mod that we've used in the past, and we can give it poses. We can tell it to do, let's do formal. So this is probably, I know it's standstill, like this is the best way to do portraying of life in Minecraft. In my opinion anyways, it's kind of like you're getting a snapshot of the entire city, because unless you do some like real magic besides armor stand stuff, these guys can actually move given enough effort and, you know, knowing stuff, but I don't really know stuff, so these guys are just going to be staying here. They're going to be staying still. If I did know how to make them move, I would, but this is our option right now. So the full city is going to be filled to the brim, well, almost. I don't want to make it seem too much like a theme park, you know, where everybody's crammed against each other. But we are going to have people scattered around doing things and owning shops and stuff. So people are going to be dotted around everywhere, and that means we need heads for people. Because you can't just have, well, I mean, you can, but it doesn't really look that nice. Like, does this guy look like a person? No, he looks like a mannequin without a head. Now it's a mannequin with a head, but think of it as a person. So if it's player heads we need, it's player heads we have. We have a whole thing full of player heads here, but most of them aren't actually player heads. I mean, I know cows and breezes may not look the most human, but those aren't the ones we're going to use. The ones we're going to use are on the bottom row here. The actual people, Minecraft skin heads. Now we have a couple of these already, different versions of them. Let's just lay them out here. So we have the default skins on the outsides here, and then we have my skin in the middle. And I think this is the way we could get the most variation, because Minecraft in its most basic form only has like, I think 8 or 9 different skins, but there's a whole wide internet out there that we can find millions. I've done some scouring and I have found the perfect city dwellers. And by now we know the way to get people's heads, right? Well, you gotta shoot them in the face. But I can't do that dressed as me, because I've already have my face. Look, I got 2 of them right here. So that means it's time for a wardrobe change. I got no clue on earth who this guy is, but really the only thing we need is his head. So let's get over with it. Such a shame I have 79 levels. Do I really want to get rid of those? Yeah, sure. And here we go. Okay, now we got to get under the thing. Where's the arrow? I can't see it. Oh, ow, there it is. Shoot again, and where's the arrow? I didn't see the arrow. Where'd it go? Okay, it's getting dark. We better hurry. Okay, there it goes. Coming back down. And, okay, there we go. So now, oh, I'm not in the right place. Gotta get back. Ooh, this place has a nice atmosphere at night. Too bad I don't stay up that late. Okay, if everything went right, there should be a player head of this guy out in our lawn over there. Did it work? Hey, there it is. There's a player head. Okay, so this is our plan. I'm just going to keep shooting this guy in the face. Well, and a bunch of other guys in the face. That sounds kind of weird. I'm just going to collect a bunch of player heads to place all around the city. I'm thinking we're going to need probably like 60, so it's going to take a while. So let's get shooting. Who knew this would turn into such target practice? I mean, this is just basically like a big... Okay. Who knew this would turn into such a burial ground for heads? Look how many we have. Like, there's so many of these. Blah, 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 blah. And then another one, another whole shulker box, and then basically another whole shulker box. That's a lot of heads. I mean, we got some weird ones in here. Like, what's this guy? This guy's just a cardboard box. Do I even have to explain this one? Well, long story short, or I guess long story even longer, we have hopefully all of the player heads that we need to fill up the town of Terracotta with people, with a variety of people, I might add. So our plan is that we're gonna, like I said, have a bunch of different armor stands that have leather armor and people on them that go all throughout the city. Now, before we can add the people everywhere, we have to do a little bit of interior work, namely on the upper portion, the residential district. So right now this place is a ghost town, both outside and inside of the buildings, but I have gone in and put signs in pretty much everything that has floors at this point, because, you know, some of these oh, my W key is broken. Some of these places don't even have, like, floors. I know lacking interior is a problem, but this is a whole nother level. Or I guess no levels, because there are no floors. Yeah. Oh, I still got the head on. But for the ones that do have floors, namely this one, and then these couple buildings over here where I've gone and added them, I have gone in and placed signs for what the different buildings are going to be. Some of them are going to have shops at the bottom. Not this one, though. Oh, let me out. Because it's a little bit of a smaller building. But for the bigger ones, like this one over here, they're... The bottom level for these kind of buildings, and especially in these kind of towns, is usually where a shop is, because that's where the people walk through the most, and they come in, they see the sign. Well, there's no signs right now, but eventually there might be, and they come in and then they buy some stuff from the clothing store is what this one is. And then I'm probably going to change these stairs eventually once I get the actual store part of the store in here, and then they'd have the rest of their house going all the way up, because it's a little bit cramped, so they just have to make space vertically instead of horizontally. So since this one is a clothes shop, they need a place to make the clothes, so this one's going to be the sewing room, and then upstairs, the dining/kitchen area, they got to combine them both in the same one, and then upstairs again is a bedroom with a nice view of the tree, and eventually the vineyard. Still got to work on that. And then at the very tippity top is the living room with, might I add, a really nice view of the entirety of what we just built in the town. And a few potted plants eventually, some greenery to go along with the whole ensemble. And since we're trying to add a little bit of lore into this place, maybe they got that greenery from the florist over here. Yeah, this green building, I feel like it made sense to have a florist live here because, well, it's green and earth is green. Yep. So this is the florist place, and basically the same layout as the other one, living and dining room, kitchen, bookshelves, just really normal things houses would have, and then a bedroom at the top. So the big thing we need to do is interiors, and the next one is people. And the one after that is all the finishing touches, the other tinier structures that we need to build inside of the town. So I think I'll start with a couple of these buildings just a little bit to show you how I do it before we do the full-on time-lapse. So let's place down our shulker boxes of heads, our head boxes? Yeah, head box. And let's start with the florists, actually, because I feel like that would be a good starting point. Minecraft has a lot of plants. So we need to grab a head that has flowers on it. This one does. This one does. Do any of these other ones? I don't know. Okay, we've got our 2 heads picked out. These ones, because they have flowers wrapping around their heads, they're going to be the florists, because, well, flowers and florist, yeah. And then we need to design some armor for them, which is where we go over to our house to grab some leather. Now, this is one way we could do it by making the armor itself in a crafting table, and then dyeing it a certain color within our little crafting grid here to make it match the color of this person. See, they have some kind of the same color tones is what I want to try and go for. Whatever a person's vibe is the kind of armor they want to have. So that's one way we could do it. Or we go into our newly built train station, up to the 2nd floor, and into the bathroom where we have a cauldron guy who is selling conveniently dyed leather armor. And I think this will be the cheaper way to do things. Yeah, and you get business too. Bathroom business. Might have to move you eventually. It's kind of stinky in here. Okay, good sir, I would like to buy some of your finest bathroom leather. Okay, let's start with the chest plates, because I feel like that's the most important thing. And put those in this chest. And then we do this. That's not a lot of pants. Okay. There we go. Then we do boots. Okay, that's one full chest of things. And I think just another one of those will fill us up nicely. For now, at least. That doesn't make sense. How do you have that many of the purple ones, but none of the gray ones? Gotta sleep. Okay, he's all sold out of the important armor, except for the helmets, which we're not going to use because all of our people have heads instead of helmets. So we take another one of these chest plates, 2 boots, and 2 leggings. And now we need to go dye. Dye, 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 and dye. Dye, dye, and some more dye. Did I forget to say dye? And last but not least, dye. Okay, now we have a full set of leather armor that I want to go try out. I might have to adjust the colors a little bit, or maybe even restart depending on how it looks. But if I did it right, we should have a moderately decent set of armor for these 2 people. So we start this one there, and that one there, and this one there, and that one there. And then the chest plates. Hey, that works nice, I think. Nice. So we got 1 florist and 2 florists. Maybe I swap the boots around. What do you think? Yeah, I think that works a little bit better. Alright, so now we have our 2 sets of armor for our 2 florists. Now we actually just have to make the interior. Yeah, let's do that. The florist building interior and along with all the armor stands is complete. I still forget Jack Black because I gotta change that. Yeah, eventually. But anyways, this whole building is done, and I took off the door so we could see the inside a little bit better. We've got one of our florists, one of the ones with the flowers on their head, kind of just walking out, because eventually there's going to be a whole, 30 people on the streets here, so we're starting with this one who's coming right out of the shop. And once we go inside, we have a whole lot of stuff to unpack. But let's start with the people. We've got the cashier, the main florist, and a customer who wants to buy the really rare wither rose that's encased in a glass box. And we have a couple that are in these glass boxes, like the torch flowers and pitcher plants. I think this was a kind of cool way to make a mini terrarium. You know, where they have a bunch of different plants, kind of a mini ecosystem in a jar. I tried to do that, but with just one flower. I don't know if it works, but I think it kind of does. And then we have just a bunch of green stuff everywhere. And I wanted to make the interior feel like it was earthy, so I have podzol for the floors as well as some flowers. We've got a tub of moss over here, and these are potion bottles, but I think they could be seen as different plant fertilizers or something like that, because we don't really have a good way to get colored water in Minecraft or any other actual fertilizer chemical type things, so this is the closest we can get. So really the armor stand stuff I did here was just all of these different plants that aren't actually placed on the floor, and as well as these jar things. I think it turned out really nice. I like it. And then on the other stairs, the other floors, like I told you before, are just kind of a normal house. We've got this carpet here with a little bit of variation in it, a shelf with some more flowers on it, and actually, which one should I put in that pot? Let's do this poppy right here. There we go. That's a nice addition. And then we have some armor stand, what are these called? Copper bulbs. I could put actual copper bulbs, but it would take up too much room, I think. So these little ones work just fine. And then we got the dining area with just one table, and Steve's sitting at it. He's just waiting for his food. Or just chilling, I don't know. This is also the living room, so wherever people want to come and hang out, this is where they do it. And then a little tiny miniature book stand, as well as some more shelves. I like this azalea thing because this one is actually in the pot here, this azalea flowering one, but then this one is the item itself, which strangely enough has a different texture than when it's in the pot. See, when it's in the pot, it's kind of a little bit more pixelated, but this one is more fleshed out and it's got more pixels. Is that how that works? I don't know. So this is the dining/living room. Going upstairs is the kitchen, where it's a little bit more cramped. So we have bookshelves galore, if people wanted to grab some books. Same type of fridge design as we had in the orange house over there, because I think it works for the 50s aesthetic. And then typical kitchen stuff, you got your 2 sinks, some furnaces, little tiny furnace in the window, and this thing right here. Can you try and guess what it's supposed to be? It's a toaster, but in reality it's a mini jukebox. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, it's a mini jukebox block, but I think the slit on the top, especially when it's in a kitchen, really makes it look like a toaster, so we got a mini toaster. And then the oven range, and then I think that's it for the kitchen. Another tiny block here. And then going up to the bedroom, really nothing special, it's just a bedroom. You got the beds and some shelves I decorated and some more books. So that's the florist shop, and I think it really adds life to the building because it's a lot better than, empty nothingness. A lot of empty nothingness. I mean, there's nothing here, but there will be eventually. And this tiny little building over here, there's really no room for anything in here, unless I want to have just a staircase up to the top. But I don't think we're going to do that. So it might become storage or something at some point, but for right now it's just boarded up, because it's a very tiny building. But before we go into full time-lapse mode, I want to get all the leather armor done, because we have some dyed stuff right here, but I don't want it all to be the same colors. I want to have custom dyeing, so I'm going to get on that. Which means we need to fill up a cauldron dyeing station. Yoink, and skadoosh. And splish, splosh, splish, splosh, splash, and there we go. Okay, that's filled up. Now we just need to grab the dyes. Okay, now it's time to get all of this armor back to its original self, the base leather color, I should say. So let's grab all this dyed stuff that we bought from the bathroom guy and go like this. See, when we put it in water, it returns back to its original leather color without any of the dye. Which means that we can dye it however we want to. So if we put this in the crafting grid, let's try and make a dark orange pair of chest plate. Let's make a dark orange chest plate. So if we add that and then a little bit of light gray and maybe some yellow in it too, then we have a dyed tunic. And does this look nice? Oh yeah, that's a great chest plate. Kind of looks like a welder's jacket. So I'll make a couple of those with that pattern. And then how about some light blue pants? That might be a little too dark actually. So if we do light blue and white, it's that. Light blue and too white is that one. Does this look nice? Or is it too bright? I think that works, kind of like a faded jean color. There's not really much difference, you know. So I'll maybe just stick with that to not use that much dye. Okay, and the boots I feel like should be kind of a darker color like some sneakers. So maybe gray with a splash of purple. Those are some purple boots if I've ever seen them. Kind of match my netherite ones. They're knockoff netherite. Okay, and then how about a nice lime pair of boots with some brown mixed in? And for the last one, let's just do white. Can't beat these Converse shoes, right? Some Nikes. Okay, well, I'm going to just keep dyeing this stuff and then I'll come back to you when it's all some colors that I want. Okay, colorful has been achieved. We have 3 shulker boxes pretty much full to the brim with different armor types. So let's just grab a couple things here, like one of these, maybe one of those, and how about that one? So we got one set of stuff, and then we pick a head, like this one, and then we grab an armor stand, and we start populating the plaza, because this place is going to be brimming with people. So we have one going that way. Oh, the vines, those are a problem. I'm going to have to fix those eventually. How about let's have somebody walking down the staircase here? Yeah, that works. And then bop, 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 bop. Nice. Okay, and the way I do this is for anybody that hasn't been with me for a while, because it's been honestly a while since we've done any armor stand stuff in previous episodes. I think the last time we did it was in this house over here, besides today, obviously. And we have, honestly, some cool stuff. We have some fishnets, trident hanging there, which is actually just floating there. And then a fish chopped in half. But for anybody that doesn't know, we have a few client-side vanilla plus mods, and one of them is the Armor Poser mod that allows players to customize armor stands to their liking, and that's how we're going to decorate the whole town. So if I shift-click on this and I say no base plate, which gets rid of the thing down here, see how that's popping away, and then no gravity, so we can shift it up and down as much as we want. And then, do we want it small? Nah, that looks kind of weird. Show arms. Let's make this person a little bit smaller. Let's say 95%. Because I do want them to have a little bit height variation. Oh, you can give them a name? Oh, that's cool. I think that's a new feature. Okay, so they're going to be walking. So their arms going to be kind of swinging back and forth because they're walking. So let's do that. And let's move them in a little bit. And adjust the arms to our likings. That's pretty good. And then the legs, we want them, well, to be actually walking. So if we have one leg going frontwards and the other leg going back, that should give the impression of somebody walking, even though they're just a static, inanimate object. And then we can even rotate the head a little bit to make it look like, because most of the time people look where they're going unless they don't have a brain, which honestly most people don't these days. But we can adjust the other stuff, fine-tune it a little bit, maybe look like they're running a little bit, running down the stairs. And how does that work? Yeah, that looks like they're walking down the stairs. Kind of gives them more life that way. I like it. So we got one person going down the stairs. Let's have one going up the stairs too. So now that we've done a couple, I think you guys kind of get the hang of it, of how I'm going to do this for the whole city. So as it's getting dark, I bet we better go to sleep first. So now that we have the hang of this, I think you guys kind of understand how I'm going to do this for the whole city. Let's make a checklist of what we have to do before we can call this thing complete. Number 1, people. We need to make people throughout the entire city. Number 2, interiors for all the buildings that don't have them yet, which is pretty much everything except for the ones that I built them into just recently. Number 3, all the little things like the market stalls and the little structures in the different corners of our city where there's a little bit more empty space. Number 4, a vineyard next to the wheat field. This place is going to be overflowing with luscious greenery eventually, right next to this tree. And if I have time, number 5 is adding the trainway, or at least the start of the train, that goes all the way over there. So it's a lot to do, and I don't really have that much time to do it. So I'll see you guys when the city is finished. This is going to be a lot of work, so let's go. Woohoo, it's getting dark outside. Normally I'd be sleeping at right about now, the bell just tolled. But I really want to see this place during the night time. I feel like the first impressions we should have of our entirely new city should be during the night. Because there shouldn't be anything, oh that's loud, really spawning, because we've lit up, well, some of the place, but there's going to be a lot of monsters still. So I better kind of hurry up. Oh my gosh, this place looks so luminant? Is that the right word for it? I don't know. Let's get to the safe haven before we get annihilated. No. You stay outside of my city. Please. Okay, fine. You gonna do this the hard way? We'll do it the hard way. I'm poisoned and slow. Okay, get inside the city, quick. Okay, well, it might be dangerous out there, but in here, we have a nice lit up area full of armor stands. We have a lot of people to show. So I'm just going to do a tour of the city, to be honest. There's a lot of different people. I went through like 3-4 different entire shulker boxes of armor. Our cauldron guy up in the bathroom over there had a lot of business to do with us, and we had to emerald grind a few times. So I'm kind of just going to walk through and tell you a little bit about everybody. So we just have on Main Street, I like to call it, a lot of people walking everywhere, going to shops and stuff, buying what they need. Because, okay, maybe it's not as lit up as I thought it was. But anyways, the villagers should be relatively safe-ish. So on the outside of the streets here, you have a lot of people walking through, and I'm going to show you guys the interiors in a little bit, but I tried to give them personality, and this place is, I like this. This is a market, if you didn't already figure that out. We have some market stalls where people are doing their business. So just a couple different brightly colored market stalls here. This one's kind of angry that, oh, spider! Okay, well, maybe we should go to sleep. Set the dawn on our new city. And it's a very special day indeed. It is day... What? Oh, I did that wrong. It was supposed to be day 4,900. It was supposed to be day 4,900 the next time I logged in. Whatever. So, as you can see, we're eerily close to 5,000 days, which I have something special for that to do, but that's not this episode. We're touring the city. So as I was saying, the market stalls, they're brightly colored with people selling their goods all around the place. And this guy, he's angry because this guy just, Glazed Terracotta Man, he made a sale to this person. She's like, oh yeah, I want that one. And he's like, here you go. No, my sale. So that's pretty funny. And then making our way over here to the docks. These, Creeper! Watch out. You are not gonna hurt me and my town, Mr. Creeper. Okay, well, maybe I should have dealt with these guys a little sooner. They're literally coming out of the walls. Well, as I was saying, the docks are one of my favorite parts of this because it just feels so alive. We have a lot of barrels and everything out here. Just some cargo, because this is the cargo docks over here. And a family just taking a walk through the city, coming in through the docks. Maybe after they just finished fishing. And we have Fisherman Green here. So he's putting away the fish he just got, and if we walk onto the pier here, we have another guy just walking, somebody putting away some more items. This one's funny. Scuba Scar. Yeah. Have you guys heard of Scuba Scar? Scuba Scar is taking a jump off the pier here, because, well, he's got a scuba hat on, he can breathe underwater, or something like that, so he's just leaping off, taking a swim. And then we have a couple other scuba scars in here. One of them is down here, who's just slowly propelling his way through the water to get back to shore. And the next one is just right over here, who's trying to swim along the surface. As we keep going down, you'll see there are a couple lantern posts, which I like. And then this guy fishing, big fish time. And over here too, the third Fisherman Green. I feel like since there's 3 of them, the Fisherman Green, they remind me of that one trio of people from Pokemon that just keep popping up everywhere. I think they're like mountain climbers or something, but that's kind of what they remind me of. These are like triplets that just all do the same job. More people walking through the town, somebody looking up. This is an important guy right here. He's supposed to be the mayor of the town who's peering down at, well, his peers. Taking an inventory on who's doing what and how they're doing. So walking over here, we got Mumbo coming out of the library, maybe after just buying a book. Got some people just sitting down, enjoying the nice sunshine we got on the village. Scar looking cool with his sunglasses. The second area of market stalls, kind of the same idea here. People just have some market stalls that sit up to sell their stuff, and they're kind of a little community because they all know each other because they're cramped in this little environment. But they do get customers and have to fight over them, so that might be something they argue about. He's really bored because it's take your kid to work day, but he's not really getting anything to do, so he's kind of like, was this a bad idea? I think it might have been. That guy's really bored. So that's it for the streets part of the lower level. How about we take a look at the interiors? So notably, the two interiors I did do are, as you know, the town hall, which I did a full interior on, and I finished the interior on the train station. So let's start with this one, the train station. It's going to be a little bit more dense population as well as far as traffic goes, because it's where everybody comes in and out of the town, one of like 3 or 4 different ways. So we got people coming in and out of the 2 entrances to this place. And up here, Wandering Trader, going up here is the ramp up to nowhere. But there are some people going up the ramp to nowhere. Eventually, like I said, there's going to be trains going through here with a lot of people taking them into the vast unknown. So in the left wing over here, we have the ticket booth where people can buy their tickets or their trinkets, like this key here. And then this library thing, I like it. I still like it. I could have put a lot more detail into this. I just added some terracotta into all these item frames. I know it's supposed to be people, but we still do have paintings here. But it's the Terracotta Express and the Terracotta train station and the town of Terracotta. So naturally, terracotta makes sense. So on the right wing over here, we have office supply guy Mumbo, who's stocking all the shelves, or maybe putting away cargo, one of the two. And similar uniform for this guy moving over here to help sort out the inventory that's coming in from the cargo docks. And we have a glazing station, or maybe like a rock grinding area, where you've got a grindstone, a stone cutter, really a place to polish your rocks and make your terracotta refined. Now over to the cargo bay, you have a lot of mess going on. There's chests everywhere strewn about, little pieces of paper that have yet to be put away. The guy's got a cardboard box stuck on his head. It's really chaotic. And there's even a secret mumbo jumbo up there, which I'll get to in a second. So yeah, a lot of mess everywhere. So going up, we have the restaurant, filled with a lot of people, all enjoying their terracotta-themed meals. But you do have your, I think, maitre d', is that what he's called? The guy that tells you where to sit? And the sunglasses, kind of like a bouncer at a bar or something. And then back in the kitchen over here, we have a little bit of detailing. We have some terracotta getting prepped, as well as some normal food, some mutton, and just a guy washing his hands. So we got a couple chefs, not too many, because it's a small town, but still, enough to keep the place functional. And yes, I know all of you are asking. I did add a guy washing his hands in the bathroom, so it's not completely useless. And this guy, he has seen a lot of trading. He has been probably the most popular villager in the entire place. No, you're not? Okay, well, who's more popular? Now it's time to move on to the big behemoth, the big town hall. So we have a couple ways we could go in. I think I want to start on the very ground floor, the basement. So there's an entire interior in here, and I tried to make it a little bit more detailed than the rest of them. A little more fancy. So you have this ornate carpet, but this basement is supposed to be the kitchen. So you have a lot of different benches and stuff. The normal stuff you'd see in a kitchen, a furnace, sink, and then some seating over here, plate. So going upstairs, we have the main attraction of the place, the main floor. I wanted the theme of this to be kind of just like Victorian almost. So this carpet, again, is kind of the main masterpiece, centerpiece, if you will, of the whole thing, alternating colors all the way down into the living room where you have a table, a lot of shelves. I like this campfire. This campfire you'll see one more time throughout Terracotta Town, and just a guy chilling on a sofa. Now through here is a secret door, secret library door. It's actually not secret at all, but it does go 2 ways, down to nothing where I might add a second basement, and up to the second floor. So up the stairs here you have a little bit of cramped room, and then you're led into another multicolored carpet with kind of a lounge bar area, make your own drink bar basically. And here we got Mumbo Jumbo, town person, opening a fancy letter that has that really common like red hand press thing. A lot of people a long time ago, or maybe even today still, had like their initials into like a stamp thing that they had some red wax to put onto letters. So that's what that is. Then we have a mini library where maybe the mayor kept all of his information about the various comings and goings of the city. Up here is a balcony, basically. There's not really anything to do with this tiny of a space, so it's just an outlook onto the horizons that we haven't ventured into yet. And over in this quadrant, we have a big bedroom. Over here, same story, just an outlook with no real purpose other than just to look cool from the outside. Now it's time to go explore the upper part of the town, the residential district. Now I want you guys to get the full effect here because it's gonna be wow. So we got a person chasing after another one. Maybe they're trying to like play tag or something, running away. So up here we have more people walking about, and then bam, the plaza full of happy people roaming around the... I found him. There's a wandering trader. He's in one of my shops. Hey, you get out of there. But anyways, we have a lot of people. But the plaza, there's just a bunch of people walking around, saying hi to each other and going about their daily business. Some of them are looking at the waterfall, admiring it. Maybe they're tourists or something. It's a small town, so I don't know why there'd be tourists, but somebody just bought a wool block, and then we got a couple kids just playing around, near the water fountain. Okay, wandering trader, can you get out of there? You're spoiling. Yeah, you look smug. Do you have anything good? I mean, it's a shop town after all. You might have... Okay, blue ice, yeah, you get out of there. You're not supposed to be in there. Yeah, go on. Leave. But as I was saying, let's just walk down here to the other pier. There's just a couple guys enjoying the view. I didn't add one of those wayfinders like I said I might. I think I said I might. But I could still add that eventually. But these guys are just looking out of the ocean, maybe doing some whale spotting. But really, this is the view we're supposed to be looking at here. This is what we've been trying to go for the past year, believe it or not. A lot of people just enjoying their lives, walking through the village, and it really feels alive. So it feels so good to finally have that completed and be able to show you guys. Got a couple more people standing around. This guy looks pretty menacing. So that's pretty much it for the plaza. If we move over here, you can see the vineyard. And I'll do the interiors, show you guys the interiors next. But this guy's a bread merchant, as you can see. Bread. He's selling bread. But the vineyard, I think, is my most favoritist thing of this entire town. I know I say that a lot, but this one really is. And ta-da! It's just a bunch of dead bushes and normal bushes. But still, it's just got like a vibe. I can't explain it. Like, for me, flowers or whatever, it just like... when you're surrounded by them, it just feels like calm and peaceful. And I think that's really something I've captured here. So we've got like, I don't know what they're supposed to be, hops or something. You guys can figure out what you want them to resemble. Basically just some vines going in straight lines. And especially the tree in the middle really adds to that vibe that I was going for. Now let's start with some interiors, shall we? I think I'll go pretty quickly on the interiors just to show you. The majority of houses are like this with a couple necessities for living in houses, just so I could work faster. But on some of them, they do have storefronts on the first floor. Now let's start over here. After doing this one, of course, the bread merchant. So there's an outside store where they do most of the selling. But if you're really intrigued, you're a bread enthusiast, and you really know your bread, you'd come in here and see their specialty bread they have to offer. So just some bread and potatoes. That's basically bread. Yeah, totally. And the rest is a normal house with bread scattered throughout. Okay, up here to our sniffer farm. Oh boy, it's really, really loud in here. I did add a few people along the walkways. Not too many, because I didn't want it to get too crowded. So just a few people walking around. Okay, you gotta leave. You can't be going into my shops left and right. Well, moving on, we have another block of buildings. Actually, like 4 more blocks of buildings to show you. This one is model boats and boat rentals, I've decided. So it just has a lot of boats, and I really like this model. Like this boat model especially. It's from the Hold My Items mod, the same one that does all the weird hand stuff. So I got lucky there, and we just don't have 2D sprites for the boats, which is nice. And there's one girl trying out the boats to see if she wants to rent one or not. I don't know. Moving down the line, we have this gray building here, which interior is a candle shop. So you have colorful candles galore, maybe each with their own smell. So it's another small interior. All of these really are small interiors because we have to fit them in a cramped space. And I think we have a new town dog to go along with our other dogs. I found this guy in the mesa while I was gathering some terracotta for the town of Terracotta. He doesn't have a name yet, but this person is his owner, just walking through the town. Over here, the purple and pink building, yes, it's the same building, is a rock shop. You can buy some rocks, polish them up. This guy is really impressed at how rare this stone is, this crying obsidian. It just mesmerizes him. Maybe it's mind controlling. So it's not only a rock shop, it's also a supply shop. So they're giving all sorts of mining materials and mining equipment. Like this pickaxe is being forged in the fire, and he's got some ready-made ones over here, and he's trying to put away some stone bricks. And really some rocks just strewn all over the place make it look more messy, even some hanging from the ceiling. And we've already been in here, the florist shop. I've shown you the entirety of that one, I think. I'm forgetting, it's been so long I've been working on this. Back here we have two different buildings. The little brown one is just a house, and the other building is another smell-related one. Coffee. This is a coffee house. This person is also pretty bored because it's in the back alleyways of the city, and you don't really see these buildings unless you're seeing them from the backside, from the city walk over there. So the interior of the coffee shop, I like it. There's a lot of orders that have been placed and not fulfilled yet because they're kind of understaffed. She is kind of staring at this coffee like, I want some coffee. So they got some coffee on the wall too, and then upstairs is the brewery, the kitchen where they make all the stuff. So this guy's in charge of making all the coffee. So they got some bottles brewing, some of them just in the sink for whatever reason, and then some more over here to experiment with different flavors. Now I gotta say, the second green building over here, I like the florist shop. This one's still blocked off, by the way. Too small of an interior. I like the florist, but this other green building I like a lot better. This is an antique shop, so there's just a lot of old stuff everywhere, basically. We got an old grandma who's just wanting to sell some old stuff. So the theme of this town is kind of messy and stuff all over the place. Grab what you want and pay for it. So there's just a bunch of random stuff. Going upstairs is where they have mass storage. So in mass storage over here we have a sign saying new shipment tomorrow, which I don't actually know how old that sign would be because it's been up there for a while. So maybe they just forgot to take it down or change it. But a similar carpet thing I've been talking about where it's kind of like shag carpet or whatever, and a big box. This guy the grandpa just got a new box. Big shipment of stuff, and another one tomorrow. So just a bunch of stuff on shelves waiting to be sold. Moving on, we have a glass shop. I like this one because, well, the character and the forge over here. We have a nice forge, kind of resembling like a big jukebox or something. It gives off that vibe, but no, it's a forge. It's got fire, blazing furnaces, metal, hot glass. He just pulled a hot piece of glass out of the furnace, seeing if it's the right condition or not. I think he burnt it somehow. I don't know if you can burn glass, but it looks pretty burnt. And you've got this wall of stained glass here, with really a lot of glass everywhere. Furnaces, furnace, if you will, to keep the place really warm. And he's got glasses so he doesn't get too much steam in his eyes or whatever. Okay, 3 more to go on this block. This one. This saleswoman is standing outside saying, hey, come buy my dyes, because it's a dye shop. Dyed carpet, dyed wool, dyes in general, so whatever you want, come here and buy it. It's a very colorful shop. Just a lot of color. The ceilings in this one are pretty short. I don't like that, but the rest of it, I do like it. Another blocked up building because it's a 3 wide. Can't fit anything in there. Okay, I gotta say, these two over here, as well as this one, have to be... I know, I keep saying it. My favorite thing about the entire town. Okay, for real. Interior-wise, these are my favorite. Building-wise, the vineyard over there is my favorite. Vibe-wise, too, I think. And this one has to be one I spent a lot of time on, too. This one is a music shop. This took me half an hour. This is supposed to resemble Eddie Munson's guitar from Stranger Things. Do you guys see it? I see it. Took me forever to do this. And we have a little drumming pad over here, with some music, some drumsticks too, and we got Scar just looking out. I said I'd show you. Mumbo, the high rafters Mumbo is saying hello to musical Scar. So I tried to make a couple other instruments like a banjo here. This one is a hot mess, I gotta say. This one did not work at all. Look at all the Z fighting. But going upstairs, we have a little storage thing over here to put more musical things. And a drum set. I really love this. This guy is like the best. He just got so much energy in it. And it looks like he's about to do a big crash on the cymbal there, the crash cymbal. He's just grooving out. And he looks like a drummer too. And he's got his drum seat too with the 3 little legs. So he's going bang, ba-dang, chung, bang, bang, bang. If I was a smart editor, I would have played some drum music there. Going up, we have my personal favorite instrument, the one I play, the saxophone. Just one hanging on a wall because that one took way too long and I ran out of time for this building. Now let's move on to some fish wares. This is where all the excess goodies and cargo come in from the docks that nobody really wants to use. So this guy comes and sells it. I wanted this to kind of resemble Wandering Okins from the Frozen. Oh, hello. From the Frozen movies. He's a big lumbering oaf, which we definitely have here, who collects things and sells them when people need them. So you get more stock and inn that are upstairs, and we'll get to that in a second. There's half price on all fish nets, which I don't really see any, so they must have sold out, right? I didn't have any. I ran out too. So just a bunch of fishy stuff everywhere, a barrel of fish emptying. There's a lot of beeping outside. They're still doing construction. So the same kind of vibe here. A lot of barrels, fish barrels, some prize trophy heads like a drowned and a salmon that maybe the Wandering Oaken caught and is displaying or selling, one of the two. Okay, the inn is upstairs. Also, I really like this kind of pattern on the sign here. This is the inn 1 of 2. We have another inn across the street over there. But since they're inn rooms and not actual hotels, they're really small. So just the necessities, a bed and some shelves. So that's that block of buildings. Since we're over here, let's take a gander around the side. Because there's not really too many people back here. I didn't want to make it too crowded again because it's a small space. But there was one guy looking out to the distance. Crossing over, we have probably the most time-consuming blocks of buildings there are. This one I really like though. It's an art shop. Could you tell? Because there's paintings everywhere. You should be able to tell. Could you tell? So there's just some blank canvases if you want to paint your own art, and then previous work displayed all over the place for purchase or just to look at it, because it does look cool. It does look cool. And some lush greenery because maybe this person bought some flowers from the florist or they're just good friends, one of the two. Going up, we have an art studio. I wanted it to be open because a lot of the times art studios, I feel like they're either really open and all like white walls and everything really clean, or they're really messy. I kind of tried to pick a middle ground here where we have some vegetation, but also it's open and feels free. So we have our artist here, the only one that lives in this building, by the way, taking maybe the sunset. Maybe he's going to paint the sunset. Whatever inspires him at the moment, he'll paint it on this canvas. And over here too, we got a couple looking down at the fountain, enjoying all the commotion going on in the city. Okay, we're getting there to one of my favorite buildings, but this one's also good too. They're all good buildings for the most part. But this one is a clothing store. As you probably are able to tell, there's a bunch of different shirts everywhere for purchase. Somebody's looking to buy one. Oh, and I like this one. The living room has an excellent view of the vineyard, so they can just look outside and smell all the flowers. Okay, finally we've got to it. The last building of the entire city. And I think the one that took the longest. The pub. And ta-da! This one is by far the most atmospheric of the bunch. So this is one of two. We have downstairs, which you guys have seen in the time-lapse, no doubt, that I kind of copied, like almost block for block from Gemini Tay, a hermit crafter. But what am I supposed to do? Design an entire bar on my own? Nuh-uh. So this part is kind of original, but the rest of it is not so much. But I do like how we have some different fancy drinks everywhere, some cocktails maybe, all placed all over the place. And this guy is equipped with some beverage making supplies, so he can do his job. Now before we go downstairs, because I want to save that for last, we have the inns upstairs. We have inn room 1, which is a bit bigger than the other ones across the street. This guy's just got his hotel inn room, and he's going to stay here for the night in inn room 2. So that's the upstairs. Let's jump on down and take a look at the pub below. As you walk down the stairs, another person's walking down the stairs. I wanted to get an atmosphere of revealing something, and oh boy, I really love this place. This is like one of my favorite interiors. I keep saying that. Everything's my favorite. It's just so good I can't pick. But this one does feel really Dungeons and Dragon-esque with all the, it's a pub. It's where all the magic happens, the start of the campaigns and everything. And it's at the entrance of the city too. I did have to hollow out some of this wall here, change it to a different color, because we've got a stage here where Scar is singing some sick tunes. So now that you have the general overview, let's dig in a little closer, shall we? We have some archways going back and forth here, just tying everything together. A person that just bought a whole keg of beer, and then some bottles all over the place. Drinks, people have left, people are drinking the drinks. People waiting for their meals, because this is not only a pub, but also a restaurant. Maybe they're waiting for their pork rinds. And then we have a dance carpet over here where people are doing some dancing. This person is trying not to spill their drink on the way back to their table. This one's maybe a little bit too woozy. They're just hanging out by the fireplace. Ooh, and I like this. We had this upstairs too, but I forgot to show you. A jukebox. This is supposed to be a jukebox, and I think I did a good job. Kind of with the size, and these looms really do look like the discs of a jukebox. And then the bar itself, the bartender, he's old. This place has been going for a while now. So he's got to keep it ship-shape all by himself. There's a lot of different stuff up here, maybe lost and found of the people that have been through here over the years. But yeah, he's making some drinks, just doing what he's been doing his whole life. Oh, no, you go back. Time to leave before we break anything else. So I think that about does it for the town of Terracotta. This place has been a passion project for over a year now, and I'm really glad I can finally say it's complete. It is 100% complete. Actually, I lied. It's 99.9% complete. No town is officially open until the mayor himself opens the town. With the ribbon cutting and everything, fireworks going off. That would be such a nice vibe to have. And since you are an inanimate object, my friend, I think that makes me the mayor of this town, doesn't it? Yes, Mayor Emp of Town Terracotta. This place is so fun to walk through, and I've had a blast making it, and I'm going to have a blast doing whatever we do next. But for now, we have a town to open, so let's set up some stuff and open this town. I've taken the liberty of pre-setting up all the fireworks, and I have a kaboom box. This box labeled kaboom, obviously, is going to have our special fireworks, and I must say, we have some special ones, and you don't get to see that too bad. You get to see a little bit, but it's for the big finale, oh, no, accidental, don't look at it. It's for the big finale, the big reveal of the city, which, we better start filling these up, shall we? You probably saw in that cinematic, but I have literally probably 40 different dispensers, they're like bombs, basically, like mines throughout the city. And if we watch this, I push a button, now I can control my character. You see that little guy moving on the screen there? That's me. And if I make my way over to this lever here, watch this. The second I flip this lever, the second I flip this lever, all the lights in the entire city come on. Do you see that? The flashing thing? So, as soon as I flick this lever, bam, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. So I'm just going to keep flashing that back and forth. So that's going to be pretty neat. And the way I did this is really janky. It's literally just redstone dust connecting up to dispensers throughout the entire city. So that's why there's kind of a order they go in, because the redstone goes down and then through the city. Yeah, it's not the best way to do it. But as I said, we have a lot of different fireworks, different types of fireworks to fill these dispensers up with. So I think I'll put about, probably one of each in each one of these, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to go through the town, and wherever you see dispensers, I'm just going to follow these red ropes and fill them up with some fireworks. But while I'm doing that, I want to tell you guys about the future that is coming up really soon, because we have a new project we're going to start working on. But I do want to take a break from this for a little bit, because to be honest, it's kind of like a lot of work to do to get this city all finished and looking spick and span, really clean the way it is right now. And yeah, it was a lot of work to get the city to where it is now, so I'd be hankering for a break at this point. So I think I'm going to switch up the content on the channel a little bit, take a break from Minecraft, maybe try out some other games I've got stored up in the catalogs, and just try some different things out, see what I like, and do a couple playthroughs of some games. I got some Star Wars ones that look nice, so I might try those ones. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so those will probably be fun to do. And on the topic of Star Wars and basically Lucasfilm and Disney in general, I'm heading off to Florida in a couple weeks, which is why I have a time constraint for this and really need to get this episode out because I'm leaving for Disney World and etc. all the theme parks in a couple weeks. So I'm hoping, depending on the situation or whatnot, I'm gonna try and give you guys a first-person POV of what it's like in the parks because I think that would be really fun for you guys to see. So depending on how lucky you viewers are, you may or may not get a vlog from Florida. Just keep your phalanges crossed because I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. Because I do want to see the parks. I don't want to really worry about having to record everything. So I'll record when I can, but not worry about it too much. And other topics about the future, I know I said I'm going to take a break from Minecraft, but when we eventually come back, I've got a lot of things planned for the industrial district, and I've already got buildings all schematically laid out, and I even have the supplies for them already, so we're going to be hitting the ground running when we come back. So I think that about sums it up for everything coming up for me in the near future of our journeys or our explorations with EMP. That's me. Okay, I couldn't have planned this more perfectly, so the majority of the ones up there have a little bit more than one per, but the ones down here all have one different rocket per slot, so I'm literally one short, which is really ironic. Because I even stole some from up here because I ran out. Okay, let's grab one last rocket and put it into the system. And then go to bed because it's nighttime. Now, I do want it to be night when we set off these firework rockets for it to look the absolute bestest, but we're not ready for it yet. Okay, a brand new day, the last one before opening our town, and holy cow, it's been a long time. Okay, we're inching closer to 5,000 every second. Well, I got some time to kill before nighttime. Why don't we make the rope drop thing? Yeah. Alright, and that's it. It's not much, but it's a little bit of a rope. It's kind of an entryway into the city. Just for showmanship, show reasons, whatever you want to call it. It's here to give us something to tear down later. It's time, my friends. Time we say goodbye. Well, actually, hello to our new city. Before we do this, I have a few words to say. Well, obviously we have our big commemorative scissors right here that we're going to cut down the wires with. But as I'm doing this, I just want to say the journey that this has been. It's been a wonderful year of progress working on the town of Terracotta, seeing it take shape, and it's been a great transformation. Because if you see where we started a year ago, it was not much to go off of. A little seaside village and a couple villagers and a lot of dirt. Like a lot of dirt. It's a lot of progress, and I'm so proud of what we've done today, our giant city. So with that, let's take down the frame here and watch some fireworks go off. Thank you all for coming along with me on the ride for this. This has been an epic journey, and I can't wait to see you wherever it takes me next. So I hope you enjoyed, and this has been it from Exploration with EMP. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.